we think about these friendships, these always need not be based on geographical proximity. So it depends from context to context. As an example, if we talk about students in a university, let's say about you, during the first few days of classes, we asked this question, what made you friends? And you gave answers like because of possibly same culture, similar language, same place, maybe similar interests, being part of the same club, or maybe you are put together in the same hostel room together. So there were a lot of these other measures apart from geographical proximity. Maybe if we look at the friendships across the world, might be because of geographical proximity, but then again, it is very context dependent. Another thing which is context dependent is this idea of social distance. I thought I'll discuss this because after one of the lectures, I guess Amruta had this doubt and there was this slight confusion on what do you exactly mean by social distance. The social distance, it's also a very context specific concept. I might say I'm closer to my mother as compared to my father. I'm more distant to my father as compared to my mother. And what does that convey? How do you even capture this? In machine learning, there are different ways to capture distances, but how do you capture this kind of a social distance? Now you can think of some kind of sociological formulation, sociological metrics to do this. We are looking in this course from a more computational perspective. It has actually helped us how things have shifted from offline to online, especially the friendships. Now we have all the data with us, and based on data, we can actually come up with some computational ways of quantifying these friendships. One such idea was published in 2013 in this paper called Can Cascades Be Predicted? It was published in one of the world's topmost conferences, a paper by a collaboration of Stanford, Cornell, and Facebook. They were looking at how information diffuses in a Facebook network. And as we have been discussing, whenever you want to simulate such kind of diffusion, you need a network and you need a spreading model. Spreading model we'll be talking about later. Right now, what we are talking about is the network. And as these people, they were the Facebook researchers, they have Facebook network. So they know who is friends with whom on Facebook. What they don't know is the strength of the friendships. See, you might have 300 friends on Facebook, but how do you quantify your strength of friendship between them? So it helps if our friendship networks, they are weighted. So instead of just knowing who you are friends with, if you could also quantify how close friends you are. And how do you do that? Maybe you can take a minute's pause here, think about it, assume that you had all this Facebook data with you, definitely not the private data of people, some data that people have shared with the public openly. What kind of metrics could you come up with? What kind of mathematical formulations or logics you could come up with to quantify uh, the strength of friendship between two people? It's a time to post this video, put your answers in the comment box, and then you can resume. If you are back now, what one of the metrics which this paper used, which was an interesting one, was the Facebook tags. And that again relies on our idea that geographical proximity matters. Being close to each other in physical space matters in our friendships. And for that, these researchers, they use this idea of tags on Facebook. So if you are frequently tagged with one person on Facebook, you are closer to him as compared to others with whom you are not that frequently tagged. So it was one such metric that they use. You can think of more such metrics. And again, this is context dependent. So this is one way in which you can quantify the social distance between two people. There are a lot of other ways. As an example, when we are talking about students in a university, they are becoming friends not exactly because of geographical proximity, but you see, because of how similar they are. And how do you capture the similarity between two people? You can do it the old machine learning way, something I guess which all of you already know. You could represent each student with a feature vector. You can have a number of features like their age, the city they come from, their gender, the language they speak, maybe their BMI, their GPA, whatever you want, which clubs they are a part of, all these things you can one hot encode them. Don't worry if you don't know what that is. So the idea is you represent take all the qualities of one person, all the characteristics of one person, and then the another person, and then you can use some similarity or distance metrics to quantify that, something like a cosine similarity or Euclidean distance, if you want to figure out the similarity between them. So this idea of similarity is going to play a good role in our course as well. Although our similarities will not be the traditional machine learning similarities, we'll be using different kind of algorithms here, basically graph based. So what I'm trying to say here is, you see this kind of clustering that we are saying, people are more friends here as compared to across continents. Intra-continent ties are more in number. These graphs are clustered here on continents, and that clustering that is happening because of this similarity. Now, in this particular case, the similarity is because of geographical proximity. In some other case, the similarity might be because of your interests and hobbies. In some other case, if we leave the domain of just humans and enter some other domains, this friendship might be, this similarity might be because of a different thing. So if you look at this, what I show you here is a network of products from an e-commerce website, and you'll also see clusters here. Now here also you capture similarity. And how do you capture similarity? Again, you can use maybe the characteristics of the products, list down all the characteristics of the products, convert them into vectors, and then figure out the distance between them. That's again the traditional ML way. But what we'll be doing in this course is using something which is all the more interesting, as I see it, is maybe not just rely on how similar these products are in their content, but rely on how people are co-purchasing products. So if there are two products which are frequently bought together, right, that's called co-purchase. So if there are two products which are frequently bought together, maybe I should put them in the same basket. They should be the part of the same cluster. And you see, these products, they might not be similar. As we were discussing in class, diapers are frequently bought with wine, and you see, they are totally different. Why would a baby drink a wine? And there is some other reason to it, but then they are frequently bought. So maybe they should be the part of the same cluster. So such kind of ideas, similarity ideas, they are used in how do you recommend products to users. If you could figure out such clusters of products based on their similarity, if someone buys one product in a cluster, they might also be interested in some other product in the same cluster. So it's along the same lines. I think Falguna and team are working on the Amazon products, Amazon products co-occurrence network. Right. Again, the basic idea of this video was to convey that clustering plays a major role in every kind of network, not just our friendship networks. You can talk of the product co-purchase network. You can talk about these products here, or even you can talk about the networks of neurons in our brains. They are clustered, or you look at protein-protein interaction networks, which are used to study cancer and treat cancer. So you also see clusters there. We'll be coming back to clustering again and again throughout the course. It is one of the most important concepts in this course, with thousands of research papers written on this topic. I'll comment more on clustering in our next video.